Hello, book lovers. Welcome back to another book review. Thank you for tuning in. I've just noticed I need to clean this mirror over here. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. And what happens when you try to fight against a powerful, corrupt system only to realize that resistance might be futile? Our Twisted Hero by Yi Mun-yol. That's Our Twisted Hero by Yi Mun-yol is a dark, unsettling allegory about power, dictatorship, and the cost of standing up for what's right. Often compared to Lord of the Flies in 1984, this novel forces us to question whether democracy always leads to justice or if corruption is inevitable. So, Our Twisted Hero was written by Yi Mun-yol and translated by Kevin O'Rourke. And I can't believe it, but it's actually, I think, the first time I'm reviewing any of Yi Mun-yol's books or stories on the channel, because Yi Mun-yol is extremely famous. However, unlike his contemporary Hwang Sok-young, he hasn't published anything new since the turn of the century, since 2000. But this novel, Our Twisted Hero, was originally published in Korean in 1987 and translated into English in 2001. And Lee Mun-yol was awarded the 1987 Isang Literary Award for this novel. The book was a very big hit in South Korea. And it was later made into a film adaptation in 1992, directed by Park Chung-won. And Yi's life story is very well known at this point to people in Korea. He was born in 1948. His father defected to North Korea during the Korean War in 1951, and this made the rest of his family's life very difficult. They stayed in South Korea, but they were under constant surveillance. Constant surveillance from the state police. He would work as a journalist and as a teacher at different points in his life. And then he started his career as a writer with books like Son of Man and Winter That Year. But Our Twisted Hero probably remains his most famous and representative work. And like I mentioned, it's been compared to everything from Lord of the Flies to 1984, and it's a compelling allegory for dictatorship. So, before we get into the political allegory at the heart of the story, just let me outline the basic concept of the story. So, the narrator is Han Pyong-tae. He's now an adult, but he's reflecting on an incident that happened 30 years ago when he was a child. His father was a civil servant with a good job in Seoul, and Pyong-tae was a student at a prestigious middle school. Due to some error or mistake on his father's part, the family has to relocate to a small town in the countryside. And Pyong-tae immediately develops a sneering contempt for the rundown middle school that he has to attend. And he looks down his nose and condescends to all of the other students. And he fully expects to impress all of these country bumpkins with his big city Seoul style sophistication. But this is not the case. He clashes with the seemingly all-powerful Sok-dae, who is the school bully, the class bully, and is also the class monitor for their grade 5 class. So Sok-dae is a wily bully who extorts food, money, and various other little possessions from the other students. And at first, Pyong-tae is indignant. He doesn't want to submit to the rule of Sok-dae, and this clash is the defining element of the story. So what do these two kids represent, and how does their clash develop? So this is clearly a commentary on Korean politics of the time, and also a critique of the charming, seemingly benevolent dictators that we might come across in history and in the present day. And it was written several years after the Gwangju massacre. the country was in the grip of dictatorship. So Day is the stand-in for dictators, for the Korean dictators and dictators anywhere. He's charming and charismatic. He understands power and coercion, and he's very devious. And Pyeongtae represents all of those who challenge or attempt to challenge Lee's dictatorships. More specifically, he represents the Korean intellectuals who ineffectually opposed and tried to critique the various dictators who held power in the country. Pyeongtae tries to oppose Seokdae, struggles hard, tries various strategies, but ultimately fails. He gives up because Seokdae's control of the school class is so complete, and Pyeongtae's resistance is eventually crushed. At this point, Pyeongtae capitulates to the system and sets about trying to win Seokdae's favor. When he does, his life improves dramatically and he begins to benefit from the corrupt system. The message is that it's easier to join the corrupt system than to stand outside it and fight against it. And of course, it's not too difficult for us to find parallels in contemporary society. So, this book doesn't just give us a commentary on the nature of dictators, it also has a surprisingly negative portrayal of democratic process. So, what is it saying about democracy? So most people, many people, many readers will remember Our Twisted Hero for its analysis of how charming dictators function and operate, but it also contains a very damning view of the democratic process. Seok-dae is eventually overthrown, and a new democracy fills a place that he previously occupied. But Yi Mun-yol paints it as almost comically absurd. There are so many committees and subcommittees and endless votes and rounds of voting that they fail to achieve much of anything. And again, this seems to be a clear analog for the new democracy that Korea entered after enduring a series of dictators. And people often neglect to comment on that part of the story, which is very evenly balanced between these sort of two critiques. Anyway, so it's still a great book, still very relevant and absolutely worth reading. So, what do you think? Have you read Our Twisted Hero? Do you think it's better to fight against corruption or just accept it and survive? Please leave a comment and let me know. If you've enjoyed this review, don't forget to like it to support the channel. Subscribe for more deep dives into literature and politics, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.